Hello, everyone. Happy Friday afternoon. I hope you guys are doing well. It's nice and hot over here in Michigan, and I'm taking a break from a crazy day. Today is the last day of school as well, and there is a topic that has been on the list in a big capital letters, and I'm finally uh, can got to address it today. So, as you can see, the title of the video is saying, "Does single means available?" And that's not only relating to dating, Ukrainian women or Polish or even American. Of course, I'm gonna talk with Ukrainian mentality point of view, but there are some of the major places when many men make a mistake, and it's kind of one of those mistakes that keep you stuck. And let's talk about this. I want to say hello. I have a few people. I know it's kind of like a lunchtime right now, so good to see you guys. So, all right, just because a lady is not uh, married, it doesn't mean that she is not in a relationship. It doesn't mean that you are her type. It doesn't mean that she is interested in a relationship. And I see that kind of remind me of a blindness when people just keep pursuing you and keep sending you love letters and things like that. They've never looked into your soul, they've never connected with you, but yet they presume that you are available to date them, and they have all kinds of fantasies. So, number one tip is don't have fantasies about others' life, other someone's personal life. Not everybody posts updates what's going on in their heart on Facebook or Instagram. There are people that have an exciting personal life and nobody knows about it, or maybe they have a kind of life that they really enjoy and they just don't want other people eyes on it. One of the things with Russian and Ukrainian culture is that we were taught to not brag about our very private things. Of course, now with social media, everybody is bragging about something or showing off something. So, and it's also like affecting, if I can say, our culture, that people are also showing off, everything. And it's not, I'm not trying to get uh to kind of see the whether that is negative or not. I'm just telling you how things had shifted. But one of the major thing used to be, at least, is that when we have something precious, we protect it from other people's eyes. So if we have something precious, we protect it from other people's eyes. Yes. Now, once again, things have changed. People share about their heartbreaks and about their beautiful things on the social media. Um, and it's not good or bad. It's just the time is so, and I think it could be inspirational when people share about that. But also when you show the world who you are with, who's in your heart, you also getting yourself very vulnerable. And some people are so protective over their relationship that people have no idea that this person is actually in a relationship. So keep that in mind, that number one, the person you're trying to hit on so hard and you bombard with love letters and messages, uh, consider their personal space and consider that maybe you don't know what's going on. And before you do that, connect with the person, try to become friends, or even just ask them. But do not presume that somebody is single just because you see them by themselves. People could be in a long distance relationship. People could be in a real relationship, but not showing up always together to protect for you know, some people just do not like to showing off their special things. Hey Russell, I know you're late, man. It happens, but now I'm making a live video, so you can listen to me. You can call me later. Um, so don't presume things. That's number one, because the person you're talking to is the person you sending millions of messages. You actually really invading their space, because it's none of your business. You know, sometimes, you know, ladies would tell me that they get letters from some guys that has been chasing them, and they ask them the weirdest question about their relationship, and it's like, it's none of your business. If the woman does not respond to you, leave her alone. But just presuming things, you just live in your fantasy. You know, I'm just gonna um you know, leave it like this with the first one, because you actually, in some ways, you already setting yourself up for a negative response, because you intruding um someone's space, and it's just very it's not something that's gonna connect you with a lady, you know. Sometimes you get messages from some people that keep asking you about somebody in your past and making judgments. It's like, so I hope that you guys got my point. So second one is, we were taught in our culture to not hurt men's feelings. I don't know where this is coming from, but so basically we were taught to, if, you know, back in time when I was in Ukraine, you know, we would meet people outside. We would actually go places. It was not so popular, you know, 10 years ago to be on dating apps. So we would go out and meet people and socialize. And a lot of times when a man is approaching you and, you know, he asking you for your phone number, I have to say, like, 8 times, 8 times out of 10, the lady would give the phone number with no intention to ever pick up the phone or ever text him. But why she does it? She does it out of guilt. And also, she's shy to tell you that you are not her type, not her taste, and you're 1,000 miles away what she wants. So that is somehow maybe, you know, not so nice. It can look to you as not so nice, but the reason for it is that we were taught to not tell people uh, how we really feel, because we can hurt their feelings. If you ask me, I really think that it hurts more when somebody you know, kind of not telling you the truth and giving you false hope. But that's just how it is. I guess if you could translate it to what you guys call here in the States, nice guy syndrome. So that is nice girl syndrome, you know, giving you a false hope and giving you a wrong phone number. I have to I have to make a confession. I give away a lot of wrong phone numbers. But I was very, very young. So, and I didn't want, you know, why I did that, because I was same thing. I was feeling guilt. I didn't want to say to the guy that no way in the world, you know, leave me alone. And it's just, it's just, it's just how it is. Hey, Mark. So, but you know, that was a long time ago. I was like a teenager, or you know, in my early adulthood. So I forgive myself. And sometimes, you know, why I give the phone number, because I was scared. Somebody would approach me, and I was like, where is the exit? And you know, like, there are many reasons, but time had changed. So a lot of times when you approach somebody, you think, okay, I know they're single, and you immediately decide, if they're single, they must be available. But you do not consider for a minute that they have 0.00 interest in you, possibly. Just like if the lady approaches you and you don't like her at all, just because, you know, you're single, but she's totally not in your taste, totally not anybody you even want to go out with, and she would presume, that you want to go out with her, you would have a hard time to getting rid of her. You would kind of feel bad, and you would try to avoid saying, listen, I am, not dating anybody right now, but it doesn't mean that you can just you can just claim your right to be with me, like to go out with me. I'm not interested. It's hard sometimes to be very direct, but so the bottom line here is, very often the woman, even she is available and she wants a relationship, she rejects you because she doesn't like you, and it's normal. I made a live video yesterday that finds the ones that likes you, finds the ones that likes to, want to have fun with you, want to go out with you. There is somebody for everyone. But sometimes I feel like I have to say this straight, direct, because so many people just don't get it. They think that if they like you, then you should immediately like them back. And this is just not how it is. Hey, Lover, how are you? So, and this is just not so. And you put another person in a weird situation, because it's not very easy to say somebody, listen, even if you would be the only option, I would not go for it. But this is what many people think, and I know it's harsh and it's straightforward, but the truth is, and the good news is, when the other person is into you, you don't need to convince them, you don't need to put your best dress on. You can be in a total mess. Sometimes, you are in depression, sometimes you are just hit by life, and you meet somebody and that person sees a light in you, and they think that, there is nothing better. So, hi, Tanya. So I just want to tell you, and oh, Tanya is here. Tanya, I'm gonna ask you to verify again what I'm saying. So I was talking about how in our culture we sometimes, we are available for the dating, but we just shy to say guys that he's way older or not our type. Just, we're not attracted to him. Like, we have heck of a time to tell him that, so we kind of beating around the bushes, but we praying that he goes away. But if we like him, we're gonna give him a green signal. And guys, we don't have power over who we like. I really believe, I'm not a scientist, but I really believe there is something in our DNA. Certain people we feel attracted to like a magnet, and certain people, like, if they would be the only option on the planet, we would never connect with them, we would never be intimate with them, we would never reproduce from them. And I think it's some kind of program inside that some people just attract and they just into each other, and some people just never do. Thank you, Lavert. Great to see you too. I have been doing the night shows and I hadn't seen you. Thanks so much. Another coffee treat from Lavert. Thank you so much. So I hope, guys, that this will really help you to understand that no amount of bribing can convince somebody that they like you. And if the person does not respond, leave her alone and move to the next one. One of the most popular reasons why, people sometimes get rejected is that you're just not their taste. And women, high quality, high level women, they want men who really, it's like on a level that it's a really high level connection. They want to be with somebody that, they connect on all of the levels. So you can't convince somebody to like you. And that's totally fine. You know, you're not a dollar sign. So, oh my gosh, okay. Tanya, Tanya is writing something funny. Okay, Tanya is saying, last year I walked on the street in Kiev talking English to my nephew, and this foreign man started talking to me. I was like, really? Okay, let's see. He asked for my Viber. I told him that I'm not that type. Mm, yeah, I've heard that. So, anyways, just understand that everybody has their thing, and they're shy to tell you that leave me alone, leave me alone. I don't want to be with you. And number three, guys, number three reasons that sometimes, men or women get rejected is that people sometimes do not feel like being in a relationship. Sometimes they've been in a relationship for a long time and they're out of it and they want to take a break. They have nothing to give. They want to recharge, restart, and just start over their life. And that is totally understandable. I would say I have a huge respect for people who, when they walk out of the relationship, they take some time for themselves. So for somebody it might be a month, for somebody it might be a year. But when people take their time, they replenish themselves. So when they engage with a new person, they bring something good and fresh and sweet rather than making their new person their next pain for their ex. So I totally believe in recharging, replenishing, maybe doing some things that you were not able to do when you were in a relationship. Some people have ambitious goals. Some people focus on their career. Some people were deprived of having pleasures, of having warmth, maybe of having some companionship. So maybe they just want to make some new friends. They're not ready to quite engage into romance, but they're just making connections to feel safe. And a lot of times people were so involved in their previous relationships, they just want to breathe some fresh airs. They want to travel. Like, that would be me right there. Like, sometimes you just have goals, you just want to travel, you want to have new experiences, you want to recharge, let go, you want to enrich yourself. And people who trying to drag you into relationships sometimes just don't understand that you're not ready. So the number three reason is sometimes people just not ready. And uh not that they're not ready, they need to date themselves, as weird as it sounds, but they need to take care of themselves. They need to give themselves what the previous partner didn't give them, so they can recharge and come back fresh and new in a totally different state of mind and have an awesome relationship. So don't bug these people either. If you see somebody is pursuing their career or they doing a travel and you want to lock them up in the house, um, that happens too. Just believe me on this one. It's probably not gonna happen. And the last one that I want to bring today, guys, is number four. When you meet people who are actually who are emotionally unavailable, so they are not, it's like all three together, they're not interested in you, um, they not interested in anybody, they want to do their own thing. With international dating, that could be people who sitting on the websites, and every time they get paid for being on a website, and they just see you as a business material. They just see you as somebody who will um, possibly do something for them, but they are absolutely emotionally unavailable. They're not really looking for anybody. They just want to travel, they want to get their nails done, they want to do some shopping, and they just look at you. Guys, I have a lot of guys who are like, middle age, a little bit younger, a little bit older. They really look at you as a sugar daddy. I mean, and that's like the most boring relationship that can be, because there is not a real desire to connect. It's fake. Even if they end up going out with you and being with you, I mean, I don't know, guys. I'm not a man, but it should be very unsatisfying being with somebody who just doesn't really want you. So keep that in mind. Some people just emotionally unavailable. Some men are emotionally unavailable because there are some unresolved issues. It's not that they are bad or good. They just have unresolved issues. some unresolved issues. They can't connect with a woman because they don't trust women, or they have some kind of trauma, or they're just addicted to sex, and that's all they want to have. And then when a woman trying to kind of move it to a relationship, they close the door, just because people cannot give us what they don't have. And um, going into relationship with emotionally unavailable person, um, with the hope that they will become emotionally available, it's like the biggest trap, and you're gonna get so much hurt, you're gonna get so much pain. So if somebody is telling you no, be thankful. Be thankful. I see no as arrow, like wrong way, wrong way, that way. Just take it. Take rejection or take no as as a sign that, oh, that's the wrong door. My door is somewhere else, and I'm gonna go. So don't waste your time. I hope, guys, you got these points. Or thank you so much. I'm getting another cup of coffee, guys, or something more, even more delicious from Will. Thank you, Will. So some of you guys were asking me, like, because when you look at the recording, you wonder, like, what is a super chat, or like, why I'm saying thank you to people. So basically, super chat made for fans. Sometimes you have too many messages and too many questions, and the person that sends a tip, like, it can be any amount, so that question lights up in a different color. So if you have a question, it will be always responded, or at least the host will see that. Well, I take it personally as an appreciation, and it's always sweet. Thank you so much, Will. Good afternoon. Ralph is saying that he wants to live in Ukraine. Honestly, before you take that decision, maybe you've lived there. So if you did, then ignore what I'm saying. But I would say stay there first for a couple of months and see how it is for you. Because it's not as easy, but it's not, there are people buying a second apartment and things like that. Jared is saying something funny. Jared is saying, when someone says they are single and not looking, it might mean they aren't looking for you. I'm laughing because it's true. Guys, and I also think that, there is this phrase that I absolutely love. It called, it sound, men's rejection is often God's protection. And that is so true. Sometimes we are so obsessed about somebody, and we just like have obsession about this person. We fantasized all kinds of things about them. We don't even see the person as a person. We like have all kinds of fantasies, never been with them, don't know much about, but kind of obsessed. And sometimes, when you get that fantasy rejected, you might just save yourself a lot of heartbreak and a lot of pain. So this world is abundant. There is somebody for, there is someone for everyone. And first of all, you got to be best friend for yourself. That I've also, on this journey, I've also learned for myself that thing number one, you got to be your best friend. When you are your best friend, when you love yourself, people look at you, how you love yourself and how you love your life, and this is how they learn how to love you. So you are an example of loving yourself. But with us women, very often we ignore ourselves. We don't really take care of ourselves. But we expect that you will do everything we want. And you will treat us like a queen. So if any women are, oh wow, I have Tanya now. I used to have no ladies watching me at all. So, I don't know if Tanya can relate to that somehow, that we have this dream about prince. We all grew up on on a like Cinderella story, like all of us. That's another revelation, and we all dream about the prince, knocking on our door and making our life amazing. But I have a bad news for the girls too. You are the ones that have to make your life amazing, and starting with feeling good about yourself and caring about yourself, because that gives idea to a man how to treat you. And this is where most of women, at least in Ukraine, fall short, and they go against their will. They do things they don't want to do. They trying to serve, and it doesn't work out because they show to the other party how to not love them and how to neglect and take them for granted. But that is another video, guys. I wanted to thank you all for coming to my live chats. Thank you so much for the support. It's wonderful to just sit down, take a minute, and connect with you in afternoon. Thank you for the treats, guys. Also, I appreciate that very much. And I hope that you will make peace with rejection and take it as a sign that you need to go a different direction, and whoever is waiting for you, they are waiting for you and nobody else, because this world is abundant for everybody. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you next time.